welcome back to another episode of Happiness Matters, the show with me, Beanie Man, and Mo, the service dog, who today we put out of the room because he was a little too obnoxious. So anyway, but today I'm here with my friend that, yes, we met networking, Steve Pariani, and yeah.
Yes.
I really thought you were Italian.
Yes. So my last name Pariani comes across as Italian.
Yes.
And the first person who started helping me to design my website when I started this business almost 3 years ago, he said, you should promote it as your name should be the name of your business, and you can promote it as a brand.
Right.
Because it sounds Italian.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how the idea came about. And then the inspiration, of course, also came from my job. I worked at the Garden of the Gods Resort.
Oh, okay.
And Miss Judy, Judy Mackey, the owner of the resort, was very instrumental in the inspiration that I got in starting something high-end.
Nice.
And a classy business that you want to do elegantly and with integrity, the way she operates her business.
And the name is very, very important.
Yes.
Name is very
yes.
important. But
yes.
but so you're not Italian.
No.
So
I'm originally from India.
There you go.
But I started my career in this industry in Thailand at the age of 17.
Wow.
And
So Steve is a tailor. And he is amazing.
Thank you. So at the age of 17, I left India and I went to Bangkok, Thailand, like my cousin and my uncle before me, and this was the first.
Oh, so you had family over there, you
Yes,
didn't go there
yes.
completely,
Yeah,
I don't know anybody,
Yeah.
okay.
My mom wouldn't have sent me at that young age to a completely unknown place.
Well, that's a good thing.
So, yeah, this was the first job that I had in a tailoring company, and this gentleman that I worked for, he had 12 shops all
Oh,
across
wow.
Bangkok, in all very plush, elegant, 5-star hotel locations. And it was the right time to get into this business at that time. The business was booming. The country as such, there was lots of tourists, and year on year business was getting better.
Right.
And it was a lot quicker to learn everything that I needed to learn about this business.
Okay.
In fact, in 4 years, at the age of 21, I was ready to open my own shop.
Oh, wow.
And I've been an entrepreneur since then.
Very cool. So
Yes.
the tailor business has been in your family then for generations, or
No.
is that, are you
No,
the
this
first
is first
one?
generation. First generation.
Oh,
My
wow.
father is an attorney.
Oh,
Yes.
okay.
And
Didn't see that one coming.
yes. And he
Wow.
wanted me, of course, to be an attorney like him.
Right.
But I didn't want to spend those long years in college and study for that and then come out and struggle in the professional field.
Right.
Back then, times were different. I wanted to make money right now. I was very aggressive and ambitious. And I wanted to be independent at an early age, not have to depend on my parents for college fees and stuff like that. So I took this opportunity at this young age to leave the country and go.
So, of course, the next question is why in the tailoring? What sparked your interest in that, other than you can make money right away?
Well, it was the first job industry. A lot of Indians at that time were in the tailoring business.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Majorly, there used to be two businesses at that time. One was this tailoring, which is retail, and the other is exports.
Oh, okay.
So they used to export a lot of garments and all kinds of other products from Thailand and neighboring countries to countries like Dubai, Africa, and wherever they have markets.
Very cool.
And I just happened to get my job with this tailoring company with this gentleman, and so that grew into being my first love and passion.
That's awesome.
Yes.
That is awesome.
And in retail, you see the results right away. I mean, on a month-to-month basis, you see how much revenue you made, how much better you're getting at sales.
That's true.
And promotions and salary increments came along.
Right.
Very frequently.
And I learned too, it's like when you follow your passion,
Yes.
you just focus on your passion and the rest will come.
Yes.
And the rest comes, I mean, if you focus on making the money, and that's your primary thing, you will struggle.
Exactly.
You will struggle.
Exactly.
But if you follow your passion and you follow your heart and you do what really lights up your soul,
Yes.
And brings you joy and adds to your happy and everything, it's like the rest just follows.
Then work and life seems like one long vacation.
I know, right?
It's like they say, if you love what you're doing, you're not going to be working a day in your life.
Exactly.
It's going to seem like an endless vacation.
Exactly. It's
So-
like I had people. It's like, what are you doing? It's, you know, Sunday's my day.
Yeah.
Where I joke and I say I brush teeth. But what I do is like I putz around, but I do
Yeah.
stuff for my business.
Yes.
But to me, it's not working. I have people like, you working on you know, like all the time? And I laugh and I said, work, play, fun, you know.
It shouldn't seem like it. It shouldn't seem
Right.
like
It's, I mean, there's some stuff that has to be done that
Yeah.
is tedious. So I now have an assistant. I'm excited, you know, because I'm not detail oriented.
Yes.
You know your
Okay.
strengths. So, but I mean, once you love what you do, the rest
Yes.
just comes together, and clearly
Very true.
for you,
It says you have to
it's-
pursue excellence. Excellence is what you need to pursue in your trade, in your craft, and then the money will follow. Money is going to be a result, a byproduct of
exactly.
this
Exactly,
excellence that you
exactly.
pursue. Yeah.
So now you're in Bangladesh, and you're what at this point? You said 21. You're ready to open your own shop.
Thailand.
Oh, Thailand. I'm sorry.
Yes, Bangkok.
It's like,
So yeah, at 21 I opened my shop, and I've been an entrepreneur since then. I've had ups and downs.
so you
in
opened the
life.
shop
Yes,
there
in
Thailand?
Bangkok. Yes,
Okay.
in Bangkok. And my first venture, it went good for almost 3 years, making good money and all. And then what happened was this particular shop was right opposite the Shangri-La Hotel, which is a very popular hotel on the
Right,
road
right.
in the front, and a large hotel. And almost 3 years into the business, the management of the hotel changed. And the new manager decided, for whatever reason, that they were not going to give group discounts, and they were going to depend only on walk-in rates, like the rack rates.
Oh my gosh.
So the
That's
occupancy.
stupid. I'm sorry,
Yes.
but that's just stupid.
Everybody, me and the dozen other shopkeepers around me who were selling different other products,
Right.
you know, jewelry, gifts, and all that. A lot of us depended on that hotel.
Well, absolutely.
Primarily, you know, for the clientele. They thought so too. But this gentleman was adamant about his policy.
Well, I guess he was going after the money. Which
Profitability.
well, that-
He was looking
well-
at only the profitability angle, not the volume angle of the
Right.
business.
Did that work out for him? Just curious.
Not really. One
I
after
didn't
the
think
other,
so.
you know, the shopkeepers had to give up on their leases and shops, and because there was not enough revenue.
Right.
And then I went back to work. Then again, 3 or 4 years later, I started another business. And that went well for about 2 years until the government changed the policy about something. It was a brokerage business. It was not
Oh,
in the
okay.
tailoring business. This time I was into the brokerage and capital markets business.
Mm-hmm.
And
Okay, so of course you know, from tailoring to.
yes,
How-
I've
how-
done many different things. Many different things.
But you know, I get that as an entrepreneur. It's like
Yes.
it took me a long time to figure out
Yes.
who am I, what do I want to do, where's my real passion, you know. And for a
Yes.
long time I was shooting myself as like, I think I should do this, I should do that, and I dabbled in this and I dabbled in that, trying to figure out what really lights my fire.
True. And then, you know,
So-
at that age range, you know, from the age range, like I say, 20s to
Right.
30s, you're in what I call exploratory stage in
Absolutely.
your life anyway.
Absolutely.
You're exploring about everything. You know,
Right.
whether it's relationships, whether it's money, avenues of making money, your different passion, work, jobs,
Right.
even locations, countries. You want to, you know, venture
Explore.
into different cities.
It's the adventure age.
Yes, you know,
Yeah.
you want to see and do as much as you can, as
Absolutely.
many different things. And so also in business. This time when I was in the brokerage business, I was making very good money. And then later the government changed some rules and some policies. So a lot of people like me, 1,000 maybe agents, you know, broker agents like me went out of business because of this. And then, you know, we
What a
had to
shame.
find something else. And then the last time, so 3 times majorly in my life, I've lost business due to factors outside my control, due to, you know, no real fault of mine. The third,
But you know, sorry to interrupt,
No.
but it's like a lot of times stuff happens to us that's out of our control.
yes,
The only thing we can control is how we react and deal with it.
exactly.
You know,
Exactly.
but you have to be aware and you have to be conscious instead of just reacting on an automatic basis.
Yes.
You know, it's like, I mean, when I call it my dark times, when I was in my dark times and stuff happened that was out of my control, I blamed myself
Yes.
you know, and my depression went deeper. And it's like, what did I do wrong? Why is this happening to me? This boo-hoo-hoo, poor me, poor me, poor me, poor me.
Right.
Until I realized, it's like, wait a minute, stuff happens.
Yes.
How am I reacting to this?
Yes.
And once I realized and I had that awareness, it made all the difference.
So,
So.
you know, one thing I'd like to point out right at this moment, you know, I read this lately some time back. The major problem with human beings in today's day and age, what I notice in terms of reacting and all, is we normally react instead of responding. We need to
Right.
train our mind to respond, not react.
And I call it autopilot. We just
Yes.
go on this autopilot. We just react without thinking.
Yes.
You know, the first thing that comes out, and I talked about it in another show, so whatever is in your cup, and yes, you are the cup, so
Yes.
whatever you are filled with will
Yeah.
spill out when something happens, when you get bumped. So if you're filled with anger, frustration, you know, all of those things, something happens to you, that's what comes out.
True.
And you react in anger and you lash out and it doesn't help, okay? Because it's a ripple effect.
True.
But if you're filled with love,
Yes.
you know, and you get bummed, it's like, this bites, all right, moving on. It's not a big deal, I can move on. And it really makes all the difference, like whatever's inside of you, you know, what your cup is filled with, that really makes the difference.
Like they say, you know, sometimes you can't change the direction of the wind. All you can do is adjust the sails, you know.
Because the same wind blows on us all.
So this time in 2004, early 2004, I was in this place called Kaulak. It's a small town, like a fishing village kind of town. It was getting very popular back then as a new resort destination in Thailand, because you know, places like Phuket and the other big cities in the south of Thailand, they were getting very commercialized, very crowded, and so tourists at that time were looking for newer destinations.
Well, yeah, because...
So this was a ripe market, this small little town, and I had a shop over there, tailoring. I was back in this tailoring business, and I had paid up for the year's rent in advance. I had paid up for my inventory in the shop. Everything was good, and right during the middle of the season time, December 26, 2004, it was Sunday morning at 10 o'clock, the tsunami struck that particular place. And you can look it up on Google. Kaulak in Changwat Phang Nga, the province Phang Nga, is the eye of the storm, is the exact place where it hit.
Wow.
And so within the day...
Clearly you weren't there at the time.
Yes. So
thank goodness.
So I was having some kind of a stomach infection problem since the last couple of weeks.
See, there's no coincidence.
Just before that, and it had started getting deteriorating on a rapid scale, and to where it was alarming. So I went to the neighboring bigger city to go to a bigger hospital to have them check me out. And then later in the afternoon that day, it was a Sunday, 26 December 2004, I watched on TV and all these big waves and everything, and they were describing, the word tsunami was coined at that moment. That day. And they said, look at what's happening, all these big waves and all. And within the day, there was 5,000 dead bodies on the street, on that main street in that fishing.
Yeah, I remember I was watching in horror. It's like, oh my gosh.
Yes, the Prime Minister of the country announced on television that particular town is so devastated that it's not financially feasible to even regenerate or do anything with that town.
Wow.
And he did mention, I remember clearly, that if anybody who belongs from that town and is not there at the moment, please don't go back. There's nothing to go back to. I had my passport with me, and that's it.
Wow.
Luckily, I my apartment, my shop, my belongings, everything, there was nothing to go back to.
So, why would you have your passport with you going to a hospital?
I always carry my passport.
Oh, okay. Smart.
Yeah, because
now especially
when you're in a foreign country, you always want to carry your primary form of identification with you.
We learned something.
Just being organized.
Oh, okay.
And everything else was lost, devastated. I mean, I was in a state of shock. I mean, this was the third time in my life where I had been impacted, and I realized that every time that I have been impacted like this, it has been harder and more devastating than the previous time. So the first time when I lost my business, a dozen other shopkeepers like me lost their business.
Right.
In the second instance, in the broker instance, 1,000 other agents all over the country had lost their business because of the licensing issue that the government came out with. And in this time, 500,000 people across the continent were displaced
Wow.
because of this incident, and you know, I was one of them. So
And yet you were spared again.
yes, yes.
Which,
so now it's like,
to me, you know, when stuff like that happens, you know,
Yeah.
to me, to others, and I hear the stories, it's like the first thing that pops in my head, you have a higher purpose. You have a higher purpose. There's a reason,
Yes.
you know, you have to be spared. And I think it's our job as individuals to find out what is my higher purpose.
Yes.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
You know,
yeah.
it's like, for me, I figured out, it's like, okay, I need to help people be happy.
I mean,
You know, discover they're happy.
exactly.
So,
exactly.
and
My first, of
wow.
course, you know, instant reaction was of shock, and I mean, just you know, scared. I was scared. I was 34 at the time, and I mean, you know, what's gonna happen? I mean, every time I bounce back and I start from scratch, it's just getting worse.
right.
It took me a few months to, you know, gather myself together and come back and then, you know, start work again. I started merchandising for another
Okay.
European company, and eventually then I came to America in 2009, and I came to Houston.
I'm
Houston,
sorry,
Texas,
I'm thinking of Coming to America. You know the movie with
yes.
what's his name? I can't think of it right now, but you all know what I'm talking about.
Yes.
Eddie Murphy.
Exactly, yes. And so that was a turning point. I mean, since I have come to this great country, land of opportunity and all, for me it has worked out wonderfully.
And you know, and here's the thing too. I mean, I'm an immigrant. I mean, I married my husband. He's an American, and I'm an American by choice. You know, but I have to say the opportunities here in this country
Yes.
are, if you're willing to work
Yes.
and not sit there and wait for people to do things for you and
Yes.
get the handouts and
Yes.
everything. Anybody
Anybody.
can
Okay.
make it here. Anybody has the same opportunity here
Yes.
to follow their heart and make their dreams a reality and really make it.
True. It's a level playing field, because you know the difference is where I come from. You know, in the East, it's a country of over 1 billion people.
Right,
There's too many people and very little resources to go around.
right,
So where I come from, we necessarily have to have the drive to be able to do your job better than you, and to do it for $1 less than you're willing to do.
right.
If not, we're not going to get a foot in the door. We're going to starve. We're going to be left behind.
Absolutely, yes.
And you know, learning on the job, just saying, you know, just faking it and saying, yeah, I can do this.
Fake it till you make it.
Yeah, and saying, yeah, give me a chance, I'll do this. I'll do
Right.
it better, and I'll do it for a longer time. I'll do it for less.
Yep.
And I'll learn on the job, you know.
But
having
it's
that
this.
drive
I
is
think it's the
necessary.
same here.
Yeah,
And I think it's anywhere. I mean, if
Yeah.
you really want to make it,
yes.
if you want to have what you really want,
Yes.
you have to work your butt off.
There's no shortcuts.
And you have to put in the hours. You have to, you know, right, there's no shortcuts. You just have to do what you have to do. And sometimes it's hard, and there's times you're like, why am I doing this? I'm like, I don't, maybe it's not for me. Maybe I shouldn't do this, you know. And most people give up right at that point. But, you know, but it's like right there, if you push just an inch further,
Yes.
boom.
Boom. See, nothing great has ever been achieved from a comfort zone.
Well,
You know,
I do
from-
this.
by being in a comfort zone. You know.
Sitting and waiting.
So,
You know, actually, I should put a post up. It's like, great things come to those who wait. Better things come to those who go out and get it.
go out and get it. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. You have to stretch every day. You have to stretch a little bit more than you did
Right.
yesterday or the last week.
And there's nothing comfortable in a
Yes.
comfort zone. I think it's the
Exactly.
most dangerous,
Yeah.
most boring place on earth. So,
Yeah, like they say, you know, the most dangerous thing you can do with your life is play it safe.
Ew, how boring is that? Yeah, but it is absolutely.
You know,
And
play it
there's
safe. Sit on the
nothing-
shore all the time and just watch the ships going by.
But that's not safe either, because tsunami,
Yeah,
just saying.
nothing's guaranteed.
Nothing is guaranteed except, you know, it's like you go for it. Anyway, so now you're in America.
Yes, so now I'm in Houston, and so I started work in the hospitality industry. There was a hotel I was working for. It was owned by this older gentleman. He was a multi-property organization. He had hotels,
Okay.
apartment complexes,
Nice.
all.
Mm-hmm.
But he's single and older, and he's actually winding down. He's at a stage in his life where he wants to wind down.
Mm-hmm.
And I worked at that property for 4 years until he put that property on the block and decided to wind down. And
Gotcha.
so me and my wife, it was during this 4 years that I met, my wife, Juanita Snellgrove, and we got married there. And then 2014, early 2014 is when we decided to move here to Colorado Springs because my father-in-law, he does business here in Colorado Springs.
Oh, okay.
He's a telecom contractor.
Gotcha.
And he takes contracts like from CenturyLink and Verizon
Okay.
to do the telecom work.
Mm-hmm.
And so we moved here to Colorado Springs. Again, it was like a leap of faith, with no idea.
Starting over
Starting
again.
over. I don't know what's going to happen here, but God has been kind. Things worked out. I got a job within 3 weeks at the Gun of the Gods Resort.
Mm-hmm. And that's the other thing too. And I hear so many people like, oh, there's no jobs. There's a ton of jobs.
There's a ton of jobs.
There is a ton of jobs. It's just you have to be willing, to put your ego aside
Yes.
and do what you have to do
Yes.
for a little while until you can go and do what you want to do. But I mean, there's jobs galore. I mean, I know there's companies, they cannot find people that are
Yes.
willing to work.
Yes.
I mean, not all jobs are glitz and glory.
Yes.
You
Me included. I'm looking to hire 2 more designers, but the talent pool, first of all, out there is so niche in what we do. It's hard to find the exact right candidates, and then.
So, but I mean, there's
Yeah.
jobs out there. Not all
Yes.
jobs are the great jobs, and some of them, I mean, they're really
Yes.
hard work and everything. But if you really want to work to support yourself, support your family, support your
Yes.
dream, there are jobs out there.
So for me also here, it was a step down from a management position in Houston. It was a 200-room property that I was
Oh, wow.
that I was managing,
Right.
with a lot of staff and everything. And I was literally, I was the right hand man of the owner.
Mhm.
I was running this particular property, and to come here, Colorado Springs, and accept a night auditor's job, it was below what I was doing, but hey, it was a job. It was a
But
step
I like
in,
what you
and-
say. It was below what you were doing,
Yes.
but I hear it wasn't beneath you.
No.
And that's the
Absolutely
key.
not.
That is the key. There's nothing that's beneath you.
One
If,
thing.
if
If this country
Right.
has taught us, immigrants mainly, and this is telling you, looking from outside looking in, is dignity of labor. That is one great thing about this country.
Very much so.
Every immigrant, when they come here, they're probably being a prince, like Eddie Murphy back in this country.
right.
But here, they will wash cars, they will pump gas at a
They
gas
will do
station.
whatever it takes
They
because
will
it's
do whatever
still
it takes.
better
Yes.
than where they came from.
Than where they came
It's
from.
like, so I come from Germany. Germany by no means is, I mean, Germany is a great
Beautiful,
country.
yes.
It's a first world country. I mean,
Yes.
it's one of the top countries
Yeah.
in the world. But opportunities there
Yes.
are not like they are here.
Yes.
They are just not. For so many different reasons. So it's like I think being here in America, whether you're born here, you choose to be here,
Yes.
whatever, I think it's a privilege. I don't think it's a right.
It is.
I look at it as being a privilege because of the opportunities that every single person has. And it's really a mindset thing
It
too.
really sunk into me on May 12th, 2016, when I got my citizenship in Denver. 51 people on that day, including me in that batch, got their naturalization certificate.
Yes.
And that's the day it sunk into me what an honor and a privilege it is to be an American citizen.
Yes.
In that ceremony.
Right, and I totally get that. So I got mine in October. I forgot. I think it was October 7th. I
Yeah.
think. I don't remember the day, but I know it was October 2007. And I have my very own swearing-in ceremony.
Okay.
So, well, because I was like 1% of 1%
Okay.
applying for citizenship.
Wow.
So military personnel
Yeah.
applying for U.S. Army or U.S. military personnel applying for citizenship is 1%
Yes.
out of all of them applying for citizenship.
Right.
I was the spouse
Okay.
of a military
Okay.
stationed overseas
Oh.
when I applied. So I was 1% of 1%.
1%.
But because we lived on base, which is
Yeah.
considered U.S.
As American
soil,
country, yes. Yes.
okay, I was able to do that, but I couldn't do it in Germany, like at a consulate in Germany. I actually had to come to the States.
Yes.
So when and we picked Mount Laurel, New Jersey, the INS station there, because we have family there, and we can take a MAC flight with the military from Ramstein to Baltimore.
Okay.
So, I mean, it was just, so we took the kids out of school. I mean, we already planned we take the kids out of school because it's a big deal.
Yes.
It's a very big deal. And it's like we do a little mini vacation, and I actually got to go to Liberty Hall the day before. And when I was staying in that room where they signed the declaration, and I have chills and
so much history.
Oh my gosh, I cried like a little baby.
Yeah.
And the tour guide, he was so sweet, he goes, oh, I know I'm good. I had no idea I'm that good. And then, I mean, I couldn't even talk. I was so choked up. But then my husband and my kids explained, But so when I called for my appointment, with the appointment, when I had my appointment, I called Mount Laura and I asked, and I said, so my interview it was Friday morning. It's Friday morning at, I think at 10 o'clock or whatever it was. When is the swearing-in ceremony? Because I'm flying in from Germany. I need to know because we need to figure out with the kids and, blah, blah, blah. And I was told, oh, swearing-in ceremony is in the afternoon.
Yeah, the same afternoon.
Perfect.
Yes.
Perfect.
Yeah.
So we get there in the morning. My husband, we left the kids with the family, and we had all planned for the family to be there because it's a big deal.
Yeah.
So we had planned, we left the kids at the family's house. My husband and I, we went to the station. We walked in, and they have this. I mean, Mount Laurel, New Jersey is like this big, and they have the little ceremonial hall, and there was a swearing-in ceremony going on. And my husband looked at me, and I never forget. He goes, "I hope they're having another one of those this afternoon." And I was like, "I know they do because I was told they do." So I knew they did. And then this young gentleman comes out in his suit, and he was all professional. And he goes, "Can I help you?" I said, "Yeah. I'm here for my interview for my citizenship." And I said, "And you are having another one of those this afternoon, right?"
Yeah.
And he looked at me, he goes, "No, this is it. This is it. Not until next week or so." And I said, No. No.
Oh.
I said, "I know there's another one this afternoon."
Told. Yes.
And he goes, and he was like, "No, there isn't." And I said, "Yeah, because when I called, I asked, because for planning purposes." And the poor guy, he goes, "Oh, you're Sabina from Germany. I talked to you."
Oh.
And I laughed and I said, "See, then you know you have one this afternoon." And he starts sweating.
So his plans for his afternoon were gone out the window.
He started sweating because clearly, no communication. Then he said, "Well, let me talk to your interviewing officer." So he talked to the, we go in for my interview, and the interviewing officer, he says, "Well, we can do the swearing in right after the interview." And I said, "No, we can't."
Oh.
I'm not shy. I said, "No, we can't." And he looks at me kind of puzzled, and I said, because we brought the kids from Germany.
Okay. Yes.
We have family here. because this is a big deal.
Yeah,
they all,
and
we were told it's in the afternoon.
Yeah.
So, and he looked at us, he goes, "So what would be convenient for you?" So I laughed, and Jeff and I, we looked at each other, we said 1:30 would be good.
Yeah.
So I dictated to the INS.
Wow.
And they went along with it. So, but I get the feeling, standing there, raising your hand, doing the oath, and then you get that paper.
Yes.
There are no words.
There's the feeling that sinks in that, yes, finally after 5 years, in my case,
Right.
it was a 5-year process of going through interviews and fingerprinting and all the hoops and everything.
Right. I mean, but to hold this.
Yes.
And then my first 4th of July as an American.
Yes. I went to the park and, like everybody else, and we had this, mat, and we sat on the park and, watched the music and the band and everything.
I mean, it's just...
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah. So, no, I get that. That's awesome. Congratulations.
Thank
Good
you.
for you.
Thank you.
Good for you. So, yeah. So you got your citizenship.
2016, May 12th. And then right after that, of course, I applied for my U.S. passport. I travel a lot. I travel overseas.
Right.
And not domestically within America. I haven't traveled so much, but I'm always traveling overseas, at least a minimum of 2 times a year.
Okay.
I go to the Far East because we have a factory in Bangkok, and now we've signed up with a new factory in Italy also.
Oh,
so
nice.
I'll probably be traveling.
So if you ever go to Germany, you're a translator.
Ah, okay.
I have a passport.
So since having the American passport, I've already been to London. I stayed in London 3 weeks with my friend over there.
Mm-hmm.
I've been to Australia, Perth,
very
Western
cool.
Australia. I stayed 9 days with my friend in Australia.
Very cool.
So I have family, friends, business associates in pretty much every major city from here to Australia, and
Very nice.
a lot of reason for me to travel apart from work also.
Mm-hmm.
Visiting with old friends, people who I haven't caught up with in so many years.
Nice. That's all. I love
Yeah.
traveling. Traveling is just.
And the first time it also sank into me was when I landed at with the U.S. passport. Of course, I went to India first, and I landed in India at the Bombay airport, Mumbai, like they say now, Mumbai airport, and this gentleman immigration officer looks at me and looks at my passport, and he says, "You damn lucky bastard." No questions
That's
asked.
awesome.
I mean,
But you know what?
anywhere you go.
I don't think
Yeah.
luck really has anything to do with it.
No,
You worked
it's,
your butt off.
Yeah.
You worked your butt off
I
to be where
it
you
isn't-
are and to have what you
Yes.
have. And again, it shows, if you're willing to put in the work, if you're willing to
Yes.
put your ego aside and do
It's
what.
like, going through
needs
the
to-
tunnel
Right.
and then waiting until you
It's like
see
if
the
you
light.
have your clear vision, you
Yes.
know what you want, and you just
Yes.
focus on that.
Yeah, with blinders on, no distractions. Don't let
Well, I
anything
wouldn't-
distract you.
I like my blinders off because then I can get the opportunities that come along the way. And
Yeah,
sometimes they get me where I want to go faster.
yeah.
Which, for me personally, if I would have the blinders on, I don't think I would see them because then
Well,
it's
what
too,
I meant was for me in this
The
process,
focus.
the
The
focus
focus.
of,
Right.
yes, because it's a long drawn out process.
It
It's
is.
a 5-year
It
process.
is. It doesn't go
Yeah.
overnight. No.
And 100 things can go wrong in 5 years.
Yes.
Because the requisites are so minor and so stringent in whatever you need to do.
And I know right after I got my citizenship, they changed like the whole testing and the whole
Okay.
processing and everything. And I was like, whew, I got lucky.
Yeah.
I got it just in time.
Yeah.
But I mean, it is just so. I love hearing stories like that of coming from really not a whole lot.
Yes.
A country that's overflowing with really no opportunities.
Exactly.
And
Humble beginnings.
right, and working your butt off,
Yes.
and staying focused. You know what you want. You know what's in your heart. Trusting the universe, trusting God,
Yes.
whatever you want to call it,
Yeah.
trusting that it will happen. Assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled.
Yes.
I keep talking about that. One of my favorite quotes.
It's
You know.
like I told a friend a couple of weeks ago is that he said it was some conversation about him telling me have faith and it will happen and all. I said I have faith. I've had no choice. In my life I've had to walk by faith. If I would have walked by sight, I would have killed myself 3 times in this life.
I know, right?
So
Absolutely.
don't tell
No, I
me
mean, but
about faith.
belief. I mean, whatever
Yeah.
your belief is, whatever your
Yes.
faith is, believe that there's a higher power
Yes.
that is there to help you succeed and help you for your highest good. And you will get everything you ask. You
Yes.
really will.
Yes.
So, but you need to focus on what you want instead of what you don't want, because if you focus on what you don't want, you get what you don't want, because
Yes.
wherever you put your energy, your emotions, your feelings, your words, your thoughts, your everything, you get more of.
Yes.
What you think about, you bring about. I talk about that all the time.
It's the book The Secret, by Rhonda Byrne.
Yes.
It was a turning point at that time, right after the tsunami. At some point, a few months after that, when I read this book, that was a turning point in me having a 180-degree turn in my mindset and perspective about faith.
And the law of attraction
Yes.
it goes with the law of vibration, actually. But it's true.
Yes.
It is so true. And I love the book The Secret. I like the movie The Secret. To me, it's a good introduction to the fact that it exists.
Yes.
It doesn't really tell you exactly how
Yes.
to work it for you. I learned it. I'm actually a certified practitioner for that now.
Wow.
I know. So because I so believe in it and I see it, and I have people come to me, they're like, how did you do that?
Yeah.
And I laugh and I said, I figured out how to make the law of attraction and vibration work for me.
Focus on
So-
something so much that the universe conspires to bring it to you.
Right, and believe. Assume the feeling of the wish. That's from the book, The Power of Awareness,
Yeah.
by Neville Goddard. Amazing, because you have to have that awareness.
Yeah.
And he constantly talks about assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled, because if you assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled, meaning you believe you will get it,
Yes.
your vibration rises. And
True.
like attracts like, so if you raise your vibration, you attract more at that level.
Exactly.
You know, and I talked about that before, misery loves company. The
Yeah.
vibration of misery is rock bottom.
Yes, rock bottom.
You attract that. Raise your vibration because happiness loves company too.
True.
You know, so that the law of attraction, with the law of vibration and all the other laws, you know, it works just like gravity. It doesn't discriminate. It doesn't. It works
Happiness-
for everybody.
And happiness is not circumstantial, it is by choice. You know, you
Yes.
have to make a choice to be happy no matter what the circumstances are. And if you are a happy person, you will be able to give happiness to others.
Right.
You know, an unhappy person cannot give happiness to others.
Well, you can't.
So
You can't really give. You can just really
share,
aspire
and aspire
others
and
to.
others,
It's
yeah,
like, oh,
yeah,
I want to be happy. What
Yeah.
are you doing?
yeah,
Well, I wake up in the morning and I decide I'm having a good day and I'm happy.
exactly.
It's a choice. It's a decision. Absolutely.
And
And
don't let anything steal your joy,
right.
right?
Right. I mean, there's times where I was like, man, this really bites.
Yeah.
But then now I'm looking at it as I'm grateful for it because there's a lesson in there.
Yeah.
And sometimes, again, the lesson is just what not to do. I was like, yeah, that was stupid. We're not doing that again. But anyway, but I will put your contact info. So you're looking for designers.
Yes, we are looking to expand into the Denver market also. Primarily, we are serving the Front Range area right now. That is from Pueblo to Castle Rock.
Okay.
And we
So
wanted
you're
to
looking
get
for
into-
designers here locally within Colorado?
Yes, yes. within
Okay,
Colorado.
because I will put that in the.
Someone who has relevant clothing and, you know, tailoring or fashion design experience
Okay.
would be easier to train into the
Okay.
exact concept of what we do.
All right. Perfect. I will put that out and share that.
Thank you.
Because
Thank you.
I am all about, you know, supporting and how can we help
Yeah.
each other, and I love connecting people. I actually have somebody in mind, but
Wow.
well, you know,
Yeah.
it's
yeah,
all
absolutely.
about making connections, building relationships, and that
Yes.
we met networking
Yes.
at a business after hours with the women's chamber.
Exactly.
You know, and it was just
You know, since then, the Women's Chamber of Commerce, I realize, has been such an influential resource.
oh my gosh, they're
They're
amazing.
a very powerful and
Mhm.
very influential resource in this community.
And we're growing too.
And I'd like to take a moment to mention Lola. You know, Lola Wallach over
Oh my
here.
God,
She
yes.
is dynamic.
She's love you,
amazing.
Lola.
Yes.
Yes, no,
amazing.
she's a powerhouse. She is.
She's a single powerhouse who
Mhm.
has. Of course, there are, you know, many others in the.
Right,
in the
it takes a
community,
village, you know.
Yes, Lola
But-
stands out though.
Oh yeah,
Yes,
no,
absolutely.
she's amazing.
Very
She's
high
just
regard for her.
oh yeah, she's amazing. I'm actually gonna do a show
Yeah.
once I can nail her down. I will have her on the show
Yeah.
too, but I probably have to
Yeah.
go to the chamber office to do it. It's like
Yes.
here, camera, lights, go.
Yeah, the new office at the Gun of the
Yes.
Dogs.
Oh my gosh,
Yes.
it's awesome. So,
Yeah.
but anyway,
Beautiful.
Ew. Thank you so much for stopping by, for sharing your story.
And thank you so much for having me.
Of course,
Always
thank you.
pleasure.
I love sharing stories to inspire others, you know. And I love Lisa Nichols because she's the one that said, your story isn't yours to keep.
Yes.
Your story isn't yours to keep. You never know who you're going to inspire,
Yes.
who you're going to impact, who you give that little glimmer of hope.
Exactly.
You know, you just
Exactly.
never know. So if you guys have a story you want to share, you think, you know, like of overcoming, and I don't even know anything you can think of, you know, drop me a note. I'd love to have you. I can do Zoom.
Yeah.
I'm starting
Okay.
Zoom.
Okay.
I have a few Zoom interviews scheduled,
Okay.
so I'll be learning that. But
Wow. So this show is going nationwide, not just.
well, it's on
local
YouTube.
where-
It's already
I mean,
international.
I mean, you know, people from other states are going
Right,
to be
right.
Zoom in.
Because my thing, my new hashtag,
Yeah.
Ellen has to retire eventually. You hear that, Ellen? But anyway, thank you again for coming.
Thank you.
I appreciate you. I love what you do and what you do in the community, making everybody look fabulous, you know.
Thank you.
So, and thank you all for watching. And I'll talk to you next time. In the meantime, be happy, be kind, be love. Bye.
Right.